Well, I'll tell you what, our little channel has got a bunch of little pablum pukers. Oh, start the car, John. Even Brendan, start the stupid car. All right, we're going to start the car today. Oh, man, I'll tell you, I didn't realize we had just a bunch of whiners out there. Well, I'll tell you, we're going to do it. I'm getting ready to put the plug wires on. I'm going to put the grease in the boots, and I'm going to put them on. You see, if I hadn't gone over about putting grease in the boots and everything yesterday, you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. Well, now you do. So let me get it done. Alright guys, we're about ready to go. I decided to move this gas tank down here in the front, block it up with wood, and then put this in here to keep it from falling over. Should the car start and the vibrations happen, I don't want it to just fall over this way. And Bobby Technical Abyss, he said, these old Holly carburetors, they have a tendency to dry out a lot after they've sat. And when you put gas to them, they leak. They get through, through the different seals and things. He's 100% right, especially through these pumps. I've had Hollys where after they've sat for a while, you press on the gas and the gas just shoots right up out of here. It just won't hold anything. And guess what? We've already got a leak. I haven't even started the car. It's leaking from right here at the throttle plate. And God, it's dripping right down into there. That's not good at all. I'm still gonna try to start. I'm gonna mop out as much as I can real quick like and see if we can't get it to start. Now if it does start, I'm not gonna let it run for long because the thermostat is in there between the engine and the radiator. I don't know if that thing is going to open or not, and I'm not going to let the engine heat up to the point where it melts the block to find out. We're just going to get it started, shut it down, move my truck out of the way, and try to get this thing over to the garage real quick like. I just want to get it to run a little bit. Alright, I've got the key in the ignition. I got one of these little plastic squirt bottles. I did not fill it up all the way. Looks like our gas leak has slowed down a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and squirt it in. Go in there and see what happens. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have a new carburetor before it's open. So let's go ahead and squirt a little gas down in there and see what happens. Here we go. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Well, so far nothing. Let's see how much gas we got flying around here. I think I got some starter fluid that might help out. Let me go get it. Alright, I got the starter fluid, but what I'm going to do is close this choke a little bit. It's too far open. Let's see if I can't get that baby to close up. You just loosen up these screws right here. You usually got 3. There it is. This is interesting. Just about everything you can think of on this car is been messed with at one time, and it's just not in good shape. It's all little stuff, of course. Let's see if I can get that thing to turn right now. Probably not. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We'll close it up quite a bit, right about there. And go ahead and tighten her up. See if that helps. I think that'll help quite a bit, actually. Alright, now let's see what happens. If it doesn't start, I've got a lawnmower that I have to repair. It rained last night, and we're going to have grass up to our knees. I got to get that thing fixed. So let's go ahead and spray a little starter fluid down in there. See if that helps. Okay, what's the problem? Maybe spark. Well, I had wifey come out, sit in the car and turn the key. I took this screwdriver. I took the #1 spark plug off, by the way. Stuck a screwdriver up in there and then held the screwdriver close to this metal. And as she turned the key, I was looking for a spark jump. No spark at all. Not so much as a glimmer. Alright, now that could be the coil. Could be. Well, even though it ohmed out right, it could be, but I don't think so. One more thing. Gas was leaking out of this side of the carburetor also quite a bit more than over here. So I'll tell you what, you let a car sit, and this is the kind of things that happen. It just dries up. It's the worst thing you can do for a car is just let it sit, especially out in the open. I pulled the #1 spark plug back out, and even though the carburetor was leaking gas on the intake manifold, this thing was getting gas. Strong gas smell, so we were getting fuel down into the cylinders. Just no spark. One of our good subscribers, Mr. Brentog, he said, John, you know, instead of getting in and out of the car, hitting the key to turn the engine over, what you need to do is just take your screwdriver and jump across the starter solenoid. Well, not in this case, the starter solenoid is right here on top. A little bit difficult to get to. Besides, I don't like using a screwdriver. Every time I used to do it in the past, every time I jumped across, it would cause sparks. You know, I just never could seem to just touch it and pull away. It always caused sparks, wound up melting the screw threads on the starter solenoid. So I decided, well, that's not going to happen. I don't know whatever happened to my remote starter switch. So a few minutes ago, I went downtown and I picked a new one up. I said, I'm going to need it, no doubt about it. I got me a little Bosch. I have it hooked up right now. All I got to do is pull the trigger. See, now I don't have to run inside, and I don't have to get wifey to come out and turn the key for me either. Anyway, while I was there, I said, hey, how much do you get for a coil for one of these cars? And he said, I figured it'd be about 30 bucks. He said, oh, we got a O'Reilly brand here for 17 bucks, I think it was. I said, no, it's 15 or 17, I can't remember. I said, give it to me, I'll take it. You know, what the heck, for 17 bucks, that's half of what I expected to pay. I now have a new coil in there, so I'm going to try one more time to start this thing, but I'll tell you, that old carburetor is leaking, just leaking a lot of gas. That thing is, I don't know what we're going to do about that. I may have to yank that baby off and put a rebuild kit in it. Eventually, I'll probably have to get another one. And Brendan's been after me to go back to the auto light, which is okay, but you know, they want an arm and a leg for him, and I am under that budget. And we're going to have to do whatever we have to do. I remember one time I had a 55 Ford. I bought off a guy for 75 bucks, and he had stuck a Holly on it. And man, that thing, when you stepped on the gas, it shot gas everywhere. It just squirted it out. It ran out of the float chamber down on top of the intake manifold, and I had to completely rebuild that thing from top to bottom. I had an uncle who knew how to do that stuff. He worked in a garage. At the time, I didn't know how to do that. I was only, 17 years old, I guess. He showed me how to do all that, so that was kind of neat. So if I have to rebuild this thing, I will. Hopefully I won't. Maybe I can find a good, I don't know, one that's already rebuilt by someone I know that I can trust. So we'll see what the future brings on that. Right now I'd like to just get this thing to kind of crank over. So I'm going to squirt a little more started fluid down there and see what happens. This situation gives me a chance to show you folks who have never seen how a set of points operates. I'm going to go ahead and use my little remote starter switch. I'm going to turn this thing over. And you can watch those points go open and close as the white plastic rides against that cam. What I was telling you about earlier. Just kind of keep your eye on that thing. There should be some kind of a spark there. You see that thing going in and out real fast? Unfortunately, there is no spark at all. So, I don't know. We might have a bad condenser here. I don't know. I might have to just go ahead and change points completely. We'll see. Well, I went on down to O'Reilly and decided to pick up a new condenser for this thing because I was almost certain the condenser was bad. It was old as the hills. It will look worse than some of the ones we had in our old radios. But while I was there, I said, "What the heck? Give me a set of points too." So now we got a brand new set of points and a nice condenser. I just stuck them in. Let's see if we have any spark. If we have a spark, we can put the distributor cap back on, and I think we can get this thing to turn over. If we can get it to turn over, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to go ahead and move it into the garage, but at least we'll know it turns over. Alright, let's try it one more time, see if we can get any spark. Keep your eye on those points right there. If you see any spark, we're in good shape. Here we go. Oh yeah, we got spark. Yeah, we do. Alright. Alright, we're ready to give it another try. I got the old starting fluid here. You're going to see what I see. If it doesn't work, then it's wire tracing time. There's nothing else we can do. I mean, we've got a new coil, and we've got a new rotor. We've got new points, condenser, new plug wires, and new plugs. I mean, what more can you do? It has to be wiring from here on out if it doesn't work. So I'm not going to hook up the gas tank. All the gas in the gas tank flew out into there and just ran out all over the intake manifold anyway. So I'm not sure that's there's no return on that. But you know, if it'll start, if it'll make a noise like it's going to start, if we know it's going to start, then we can go ahead and take off our carburetor next week or in the next couple days. As soon as I get the lawnmower fixed, that's going to be our new priority. That lawnmower, our grass is already up to my knees almost. Here we go. All right, we hit our little remote switch. She's trying. Look at them apples, huh? We'll run out of gas here. I'm hoping we'll probably gas in the float bowl. Well, there you go, guys. Yes, she is running. Not too shabby, huh? Well, that's it. We're going to call this quits. I'm going to clean up all my tools, have a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to head out to the garage. So, I hope all you little titty babies are all happy you've heard your engine run. Until next time, this is John.